Hey, what's up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be showing off all the items that I got at my local value village, or local value villages, as I went to multiple locations over the past uh, several months or so, and I found all sorts of really awesome things there. Um, I do want to stress that you may or may not get as lucky as I was. Um, you really, it's really it it's anybody's guess as to what you'll get and what condition it will be in, especially when it comes to electronics. I should also mention that Value Village is basically the Canadian equivalent of Savers. I don't know why they have different names, but I don't know. Same. It's not. Then again, it's not the only company that has a different name depending on the region. EB Games, of course, is called GameStop in the U.S., but here it's just called EB Games. Well, enough of that. Let's actually get into the items I got, and let's actually start over with my PlayStation 3, or should I say PlayStation 3 consoles. So I have here a PlayStation 3, which I got for a measly $12.99. Yeah, you heard me, $12.99, and it actually is in good working condition. It even has a demo of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on it, which is something you can no longer get for the PlayStation 3, so that's really awesome. It also has a couple other stuff in there too. I think it has Borderlands on there and a couple other stuff which are completely unplayable because you need to be signed into the original account, of which I obviously can't sign in. Really great find. I actually found two of these on the same day, but somebody else got the other one, and there was also like two Nintendo Wii's as well, but I also did not get that one. Moving on, I have here another PlayStation 3, which I got recently for $34.99 at a different location. Now this one had Minecraft on it, among other things like various save files, and also some DLC for some Call of Duty games. But one thing that really struck me was the fact that whoever owned this last did not wipe out their data. So the PlayStation Network account, along with like other sensitive personal information, is still on the system. So if I could offer any word of advice, if you guys are planning on getting rid of your PlayStation 3 systems, at the very least, wipe out your PSN account on the system, because you never know who ends up getting these things. If God forbid somebody gets it and decides to use it to buy all sorts of things with your account and whatnot. So please, if you're gonna sell your PS3 console, make sure you delete all your personal information off of this at the very least. Moving on, I have like 3 controllers here, which I miraculously found for a measly $4.99 a piece. Yeah, and I found it out at the same time at the same location. And generally speaking, they all work relatively fine. There are some noticeable issues with it. Sometimes the buttons would suddenly act up even though I didn't press anything. The PlayStation 3 controllers have this one problem where over time it starts to do stuff even though you're not pushing anything. I'm sure people who've had trouble with their PS3 controllers run into this issue, and a common solution would be to actually open it up and actually put some alcohol on a certain on the strip. Really, I just got these. Even though I didn't know the condition of these things, definitely picked them up because these things are becoming harder and harder to find compared to all of the other controllers. I mean, you can still plug in a PS4 and PS5 controller to a PlayStation 3, but they don't work as well because the home button doesn't actually work when you connect a PS4 or PS5 controller to a PlayStation 3 console. It recognizes it as a Bluetooth device and not a Bluetooth device and not a first-party controller. Basically it's no different then it functions no different than a third-party controller, more or less. I don't even know about like gyro controls. Maybe it might work, maybe not. I don't know. But I do know that you don't have any rumble features if you decide to go that route versus using the actual genuine controllers. And speaking of the PlayStation 4 controller, I actually found this thing for measly $12.99, and although the back label is gone, the controller actually works with an asterisk. And I say that with a huge asterisk because while it does work now, it wasn't working when I bought it. You see, the USB port was actually completely busted, so I couldn't charge it or anything. I actually had to open this thing up, buy a part, and replace the USB port, and then got it working. And I think that part costed me with it like about a little more than $10 or so. So I paid $12.99 for controller and like $10 for the part. So for about a third of the cost of the actual controller, I'd say I got a pretty good deal. Although the share button's a little sticky here, it doesn't click down like normally. But other than that, it works perfectly fine. And now I have a spare controller. Next up, I'm actually gonna. I think I'll start with the. I think I'll go with the Nintendo DS next. So this thing I got for $20, and I did not necessarily know the condition that it was in. But the only reason I got it was because it had a copy of Final Fantasy on the Nintendo DS inserted in the cartridge slot. I can just zoom in on his. And this game alone cost like $20, so it was definitely worth it, just for this alone. But as for the console itself, it's almost complete. It's almost complete garbage, unfortunately. You're missing the slot piece here. There's a crack here, among other things. The top screen is completely busted. Like it turned. When I got this thing on, the top screen was completely smashed in. And it also wouldn't accept the charge, and I later found out after trying out a new battery, the battery is completely dead. So I'm getting a new battery for that, and maybe hopefully someday I'll fix the top screen. But for now, this is more or less just going to serve as a Game Boy Advance player, basically a device to play Game Boy Advance games for now, anyways. Unless I decide to fix it or manage to sell it. Next up, I got these. Oh yeah, I got these two games here. For $5 a piece. What? Not really much to say. I actually kind of almost regret getting this because although it says XL Edition, it's very much just the regular copy of Gran Turismo 5 as far as I'm aware, just with a download code that doesn't seem to work anymore. Because of course, most likely because somebody else used it or something. And then I have a copy here of SOCOM 4 US Navy SEALs. I've actually tried a couple of the games on the PlayStation 2. Really liked them, and this is also the last game in the franchise they got to release. It doesn't look, that doesn't look like the franchise. As far as I'm aware, the franchise is pretty much dead in the water, as they haven't made a new entry in like almost 10 years now. But that's. And next up we have. Alright, next up I have a couple of PlayStation 4 games here. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the PlayStation 4. I got this for $5. Now this is just a regular edition, not the Zombie Chronicles edition, but that's okay. Black Ops 3 is the one game that I've had. Well, actually, there's actually another one, but Black Ops 3 on the Xbox One is the one game that I've had so much trouble trying to find an online match with. I cannot, for the life of me, get into an online match, and for what I can understand, it's because my NAT type is not open, and that's partly the reason why. But the fact is, even though I have a moderate NAT type, I've been able to pretty much play just about every single other Call of Duty game, whether it be on PS3 or Xbox 360 or Xbox One. and although I am having some trouble now with the Xbox playing the Xbox 360 titles on the Xbox One, but this is the one game in particular that I've had the most problems with. And the weird thing is, when I owned this game for the PlayStation 3, I could get into the lobbies pretty quickly, but the Xbox One game, not so much. Now, as for the PS4 copy, I haven't been able to test out the online multiplayer because I don't have PlayStation Plus, and I don't think I'm going to be getting that for a little while, just because I already have a lot of subscription services. You know, $70 is a bit much for me to be throwing around loosely. I know that sounds pretty hypocritical considering what I have here, but compare, if I could get all this stuff for like $70, then maybe I shouldn't be spending taking $70 so lightly. I also got a copy here of Fallout 4. Kind of actually regret getting this now because Bethesda is now owned by Microsoft, and they have the game on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which I do have. But it does have a map in it, so that's nice. I'll get to Fallout eventually, just not now. And next up, I have this Xbox One controller. It's really, I found this for like, I think I must have found this for like, I think it was like $10 or so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like $10. And for the most part, it works, except the shoulder button except the shoulder button. I have trouble with this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Pretty inconsistent. And I hear, and unfortunately, trying to get an Xbox One controller repaired isn't very easy. It's actually, from what I heard, from what I've seen on YouTube, and from what other people in repair shops tell me, it's the hardest to repair of the three controllers this generation. That is, the PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Switch controllers are actually easier to repair than this thing. So unfortunately, I couldn't get this thing repaired because the repair store doesn't repair it. Same thing with the DS, unfortunately. They don't fix the top screen. It's just too hard for them, I guess. Next up, we have... actually, no. Let's actually finish one more. I have one more game to show off. Super Mario 3D Land. I got this for $9 at I know, which a pretty great, awesome deal. I actually have a copy already, but I decided to get this second copy because, $9 for a Mario game? Why not? They're charging like $80, like $79.99 for Super Mario All-Stars. I'll take what I can get when it comes to cheap Mario games. I'm going to save this one for last, actually. Next up, for the last electronics related item of the day, the PlayStation Portable, and yes, $14.99. That's how much I paid for this thing. Now, managed to actually test this thing at the store, because it actually comes with the power cable and this cable that connects to the TV, I think. And I tested a game on it, and it seemed to work. The only thing this thing is missing is the battery, which I actually just ordered off of Amazon. It should be coming in soon. But yeah, and unfortunately, you do need the battery if you want to. You do need the battery if you want to update the system software, which I need to do. Thankfully, there is a memory card, the 2 GB memory card that's inside. So, but the battery of all things is missing. And at first I thought the analog stick wasn't working, but it looks like it does work, and all the buttons seem to work. But just and for $14.99, this is an awesome deal. And the really funny thing is, I had no intention of getting the PSP. I have a PS Vita, which I barely use, and the only reason I got that was to play PSP games, specifically Sonic Rivals 1 and 2. And I didn't want to get the PSP since, aside from the aforementioned games, I really didn't have much of a reason to get it. I didn't really have a solid reason to get it. Plus, the console's really old, and you know, Persona 4 Golden was being a Vita exclusive was much more appealing, along with the other first-party titles. In fact, the PlayStation Portable, a lot of the games on PlayStation Portable are just like watered-down versions of games that exist on other platforms, in my opinion. Don't believe me? Just look at a lot of the footage on YouTube. It just looks, a lot of the games just look watered down. That's not to say they aren't like completely bad. It's just when you have a game that just looks worse on one platform versus another, of course I'm gonna go for the better looking one, especially in this day and age. I know that sounds really hypocritical considering since I own you know, I'm pretty lenient when it comes to Nintendo Switch ports, but you know, but everyone has their biases, of course, and I didn't grow up with the PlayStation Portable. In fact, funny story, I was actually, back in 2008, I actually was intending to get a PlayStation Portable, but then I ultimately settled with the DS because it was cheaper. And of course, I ended up getting, and the rest is history, really. Almost 13 years later, and here we are, and I finally got that PlayStation Portable. It's a pity that Sony hasn't released you know, kind of dropped the ball really hard with the Vita. You know, I think the Vita could have been fine on its own, but they just left that to die. So finally, last item here, which I'm going to show. I think I may have, I think I'm excluding some other items here, but really, this I've already shown off enough items as it is. I got here these 2 packs of Pokemon cards, which I got for $4.99. I honestly don't know if they're real now. I'm actually doubting the legitimacy of these cards. But we have the Pokemon XY Kalos starter sets and the Pokemon. Yeah, I think this is also the same thing. Also Pokemon X and Y Kalos starter set. We have, what's it say? Fennekin deck and the Chespin deck, and also these loose cards. I don't know which one of these packs these came from. So we got this foil Eevee. Again, I don't know whether this is fake or not. I mean, I'm told that the best way of determining whether they're fake is whether they bend they bend quickly, but I don't know. I mean, if they're fake, then shame on me, I guess. I got what I pay for, $4.99. But if they're real, then this is a pretty good. I'd say I got a pretty good deal here. So that's Eevee, Pikachu, level 15. Ooh, Starly, level 10. Cinccino. Oh, yeah, another one of these. Piplup and Turtwig. So let's just open up this orange pack. Alright, so let's see. We have Natu, Beldum, what's this one? Oh, Fletchling, Lillipup. They look all normal to me. Roggenrola, Grimmer, Frillish, Cottony, Natu, I think that's a duplicate, Vulpix, Panfor, Clefairy, oh gosh, I hope I'm not butchering the names here, Potion, Timber, Onomatopoeia there, Energy, Rhyhorn, Metang. I definitely recognize some of these Pokemon from the show, that's for sure. Rhydon, Seal. Oh, that's a funny way to spell Seal. Ralts, Squirtle. I think that's like... Now I think I have multiple Squirrels now. Sentret, Voltorb, Golbat, Seedot, Rattata, Potion, Bellsprout, Squirtle again, Onix, Raticate, Metang, Zweilous, and that's it for pack 1. Let's get to the final pack. Let's get to the final pack here. Whoa, almost dropped them. It's a bit difficult to get all this when... It is admittedly a little difficult to get this when all... Alright, there we go. I think I've got all of it. Hopefully I don't mix anything up. Alright, first card. No, wait, I think I tried... Gothia. Electrike. Sanskew. Cryogonal. Fennekin. Okay, we got... Oh, and ironic, we got Fennekin not in the Fennekin pack. Okay. Carvaha. Pansier. Mincino. Whoops. Riolu. Energy card. Energy card. Energy card. Because of course, another energy card. Loudred. Gosh, that Pokemon looks terrifying. Diglett. Ralts. Jellicent. Zubat. Jigglypuff. Chespin. Oh, I think... Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got Chespin and that other one. Scraggy. Solosis. Vaporeon. Eevee. Okay. Gothorita. Whirlipede. Burmy. Pamper. Whooper. Tepig. Ghastly. Well, that's sad. Revive. It sounds like a joke that Dorkly would make. Fletch, Cinder. I'm surprised. I don't think Dorkly has made a video on that. Surskit. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, Dorkly is this popular YouTube channel that makes a whole bunch of these parody videos on Pokemon. Kirlia. Energy. Another energy. Of course, there's another. Metang. Torchic. Seadra. Another Seadra. Houndour. Spupa. Zorua. Tangela. Diggersby. Bunnelby. Cryogonal again. Loudro again. Why do I have to have two of those? Shelmet, Metang again. Finally, Charmeleon. Okay. And that does it for the Pokemon cards. Okay. Alright. So, that's actually my first time opening these Pokemon cards. And I gotta say, not pretty good. Especially these ones. Especially this one. These ones. Really nice. Again, hopefully these aren't fake. You know, I know that you never know what you really know. You know, I tried looking up these packagings online, couldn't find the packaging for it, except those giant ones. So hopefully these aren't fake. But that pretty much does it for this video, guys. You know, I definitely like to know what kind of things you guys have found in the thrift store over the years. I mean, I found all this stuff, including the PlayStation 3 consoles. So I'm curious. Have you guys had just about lucky haul as I have? Sound off in the comment sections below. And you know, as always, I definitely would definitely appreciate if you also provided a like and a subscribe as well. So that does it for this video, and I will see you next time. Hopefully next time. Hopefully, assuming you've watched this entire video, I'll see you guys when I make that video on my gaming collection. So until next time, good night, everybody.